Hi. Today I'm going to talk about the retrograde motion in transit of Saturn. So it's a little late. The retrogradation already started on 23rd May, but at this point already, first Saturn was stationary for a few days before this retrogradation started, and then it has started. So you've already experienced about 10 days of this Saturn retrogrades effect, and knowing how it is affecting you, you can analyze how your past 10 days have been. For me, it has been a kind of shift in the way I do things and the kind of things I've been doing. So all of us have experienced some kind of change, and it is a good time for us to sit and think, how these 10 days went, and then based on that, we can plan on how to, go about the next few months, because this retrograde is going to last till October 11th. So with that in mind, I'm going to share what Shravan Nakshatra is and what Saturn in Shravan Nakshatra means. What are the lessons for us to follow, what are the things, opportunities or challenges that we are going to come across, and then based on that, I'm gradually going to give a reading, a sort of a small indication or a roadmap for each ascendant or moon sign, so you can just have a look at that and keep that in mind for next few months. So Shravan Nakshatra, because this retrogradation is going to occur in Shravan Nakshatra, so it's very, very important to understand this nakshatra. Already Saturn has spent a lot of time in this nakshatra, but it going retrograde means that some things are not perfect. Whatever happened in past few months when Saturn was in this nakshatra, the choices we made, the actions we took, there are some things that are left. Some things need to be revisited, some things need to be reevaluated, and we need to do those things again. So that is why this understanding Shravan Nakshatra itself, and then thinking about our past few months on where these themes relate and where we need to improve ourselves, is going to be the key to have a good time in upcoming few months. So Shravan Nakshatra, the sign of this nakshatra is ears. So as the name says, Shravan also means listening. So this nakshatra is lot about listening to advice of your gurus and of your advisors, whoever is trying, someone in your life is trying to give you advice. It could be your internal soul, it could be your subconscious mind, or your internal teacher, that is Di Shakti also, but someone in your life is trying to give you some advice. The other thing that is related to this nakshatra is 3 steps. Sometimes these 3 steps can be compared to limping also. Sometimes it can be compared to unequal steps or unequal strides that we take. So repeating the number 3, or doing things 3 times, or having 3 opportunities to do something, or doing 3 things at a time, the number 3 becomes important here. 3 steps become important here. So that should be kept in mind. Then another thing that is important in Shravan Nakshatra is not being able to complete a task that you set for yourself. So in January, around when Saturn entered this nakshatra, think about the things that you had set a goal for in that time, and think about what has happened since then. Usually Shravan Nakshatra, the story of Shravan Nakshatra goes that Bali Maharaj set out to do this Havan, this Yagna, where he was supposed to get the entire world, including the heavens and everything, but what the things that conspired after, he was not able to finish that yagna. So Shravan Nakshatra is lot about setting goals for ourselves, going out to do some things and then ending up doing something else. So this theme is also very important, and when the Saturn retrograde happens, we need to think that in past few months, what were the goals we set for ourselves, and then where did we change our course, where did we stop doing things towards what we actually set out to achieve. The other thing that is related to Shravan Nakshatra is giving away something out of emotions. So this nakshatra is a nakshatra of moon, and so emotions play a very huge role here. And in the story as well, Bali Maharaj gives away everything he has to Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, because he had this feeling in his heart that if a Brahmin, if a guru, if a priest asks him for something, he must be able to give it. Even when he realized that he was being ripped off, he still does it because in his heart that is the right thing to do. So when Shravan Nakshatra is active, that time you are supposed to give something, and you do give something because of your emotions. Now, depending, if you have a planet in Shravan Nakshatra, you would see that happen in your life a lot. So if, let's say, you have a moon in Shravan Nakshatra, then you will be someone who is very emotional, and you would get attached to someone, and in that sympathy, because of emotion, you will give away something, you will donate something. If you have Rahu there, then that is not a good placement, because in that case you are actually you might give something because of some kind of illusion and confusion, and you might actually get cheated. If you have Saturn there, then the way this current transit is, that means you are someone who can give something to either alleviate your own pain. So you are in pain, and that is why you are giving something to get relief. Or you can give things when you see someone else is in pain. So someone else is in pain, is in sadness, and to help them, you give something to them, you donate to them. So these things, if you come across a situation like that, don't shy away. Give what is required, but also make sure that you understand what you are giving. What is the promise here? Because here there is a huge this element of not knowing what you're actually promising to give. Then another thing in this nakshatra is that beauty or luxury is compromised here. So here in the story, Bali Maharaj's guru is Shukracharya, Venus, and he does not listen to him. And in the whole story, he goes through some problems because he's actually trying to help Bali Maharaj, but Bali Maharaj does not listen to him. So here in this nakshatra, Venus is a little uneasy because you are not listening to it, or you're not caring for it. So people who have Venus as an important planet in their charts, for them making sure that they are caring for Venus, that is beauty, luxury, women, that is very important right now. If especially if your Saturn is transiting over your Venus, and if your Venus is naturally in this nakshatra, then you are supposed to listen to the women in your life. Then in general, I like to understand nakshatras as a cycle, and especially within a sign also. So Capricorn sign in itself is about authority, is about professional achievement, is about karmas, any kind of work that you do, and it can be donations, it can be your career, it can be profession, it can be simple deeds that you do day to day in your life. So Capricorn is about karmas, and Capricorn is consisted of Uttarashada, Shravana, and then Dhanishta. So this is a ladder. It is 3 steps of going towards Aquarius. So Uttarashada is when you have conquered something, you know what is to be done. You've gotten to that stage where you have, let's say, some skills, you've decided that this is the karma that I am going to do. You have gotten the authority to do that work. It's like getting a job. And then, if you consider kings and queens, because Uttarashada is also about lasting victory. So for them, if you consider it a chart of kings and queens, then for them it was winning the whatever state they are going to rule now. But in layman's world, it is like getting a job, it is like getting an authority or getting the responsibility to do something. Now this task is yours. And then Shravana Nakshatra is really about persisting and listening to whatever advice is given to you, and just getting that done without actually getting confused by any kind of elements. So Shravan Nakshatra is that middle part of a job where you have to get it done without getting deviated from your path, and this is where most people will fall. This is where most people will not be able to complete a task that is given. And then the third step is Dhanishta. That is where you reap the fruits. That is where you get the money. It is where you, you get the results of whatever your efforts were. So Shravana Nakshatra is where you first have to master things. You first have to complete the task, and then you go to Dhanishta, where you're actually supposed to get the results. So right now, Saturn going retrograde in Shravana is a lot about these unfinished tasks, and it is a very, very good opportunity, unless your Saturn is ill placed. So if it is, let's say, in 12th house, or if it is in 6th house, or if it is in signs where it is debilitated, or it's causing you some issues, still I would say this Saturn going retrograde is an opportunity to go back and think about what wasn't done well, where were the mistakes made, and this is an opportunity to complete the tasks that were not completed earlier. So that being the theme of this whole retrogression, in my opinion, let's go towards each sign and see what the effects are going to be for each sign. Before we go for the effects, I'm going to give some general remedies, because just today when I was planning this video, I got a message from a dear friend. She has her Saturn retrograde in 12th house, and she has not been able to sleep since the retrograde started, in fact a few days before it. So Saturn went stationary, and that is when this thing started happening. So if Saturn is not well placed for you, and if you are having some problems, then there are some basic things for Saturn retrogrades. For example, you can get first of all, you can donate some shoes if Saturn is causing you any troubles, especially in this retrograde. Then second of all, wherever you are keeping your shoes, make sure that they are always organized well. So just go over to your shoe rack and see how your shoes are kept. The third thing is hair stuff. So whether it's your combs or if it's your hair itself, if there is unruliness to them, if your combs or if your hair products are not organized well, if your hair is not done well, you should straighten that out. By straighten that out, I don't mean that you should actually go and straighten your hair. You should just keep it neat and clean and light for yourself. If it is unruly, then it can cause some negative energy and it can cause some troubles for you. The third thing is you might have some troubles with your people who are working for you. So let's say if you have help at home, or if you have if you hire someone, blue collar job person, to do some repairs at your home or something, there might be some issues with that. So you have to be patient with that, and in fact, if you are planning to do something like that, unless it's urgent, don't start constructions or this kind of stuff. The last thing is oil. So Saturn's very good remedy is oil. So depending on where your Saturn is placed, if you have pains or any issues in let's say this friend of mine was having issues in sleeping, so there she should apply something to her feet or her head, because that should relieve sleeping issues. And so depending where the Saturn is affecting you, you can do some oil massage to yourself, give yourself a foot rub or a head oil massage or something. Now let's move on to the signs and the effects that this retrogression is going to have on each sign. So Aries, Aries natives, you might have started something new professionally, or you might have wanted to start something new professionally. There may have been a lot of resistance, or in your own mind you might be hesitant to do something new. So either way, whether you started it already or whether you didn't start, you are getting a second chance now to get your stuff done, to work on whatever you wanted to work on. And during this period, while Jupiter has been in Aquarius, you have also gotten some helpful lessons. So especially those who actually went ahead and started something new, you have received some helpful lessons from your networks, from feedbacks from friends. So now, using those lessons that you got in these past few months, it is time for you to unlearn, relearn, and then realign your efforts right now. Now, anyway, any transit should not be studied in alone. So we are going to look at Mars and Jupiter transit as well. And as Mars comes to your 4th house and Saturn is in your 7th house, in your 10th house, them being in 1-7 axis, you need to achieve a balance of the energy that you are spending and your perseverance, your patience. Here Saturn is more strong, so being patient is more important. Now, to some extent, you want to achieve a material stability with Rahu in your 2nd house, and this whole retrograde, going back and trying to do things again, trying to re-strategize how you are going to work, might cause some problems for you, might frustrate you a little bit. But remember that this is a chance, and this is a chance to make a stronger foundation. So don't get annoyed because of this thing. And then also, Mars and Saturn are both going to aspect your 7th house for a while. So when it comes to public platforms, marriage and online dealings, there may be some friction for you. Again, your heart might want to take some initiative. You want to do something new on these levels as well, but patience and slowly judging all the pros and cons are very necessary for you right now. Taurus natives, since your sign is naturally the sign of material wealth and comfort, what we call sansarik jivan or worldly life, that is what Taurus is naturally inclined towards, and that is why it is very normal for you to have sort of a practicality in your religion. This Saturn retrograde is about you reassessing your principles. It can be your religious principles, it can be your spiritual principles. It is generally about your morals and the rules you have for your life, the principles. So for example, when someone it is about sort of saying that this is the kind of person I am. So rethinking what kind of a person you are, what are your rules, what are your priorities. So here this Jupiter will also join the Saturn soon. So your boss, your father, your guru might try really hard, because when Saturn is retrograde, it's about a lot of effort also. So these people might try really hard to give you some advice, to teach you something. And when that happens, be sure that you are open to listening and you are taking their advice, because they have a lot of experience in the things that you are dealing with now. It is also about some lessons that you have learned recently at work, and then imbibing in them in yourself on how you should be working your work principles. So just be extra mindful of what you have learned in past few months and who is trying to give you some advice, and reconsider that. Now your 6th house is going to be active, because Mars and Saturn are both going to aspect that. So there is going to be some friction in those areas. You might have to deal with some legal issues or some kind of disputes, and you may be frustrated because of the efforts you are making in those lines. Here right now, diplomacy, patience, and even some unconventional methods of solving problems can help you. So just it's not a negative time. You will get through this. You'll just have to think of some unconventional ways to deal with these problems. Now Gemini ascendants, for you all of this is happening in 8th house. Now 8th house is about secrets, it's about affairs, it's about your in-laws, it's about transformation through karmas, for specifically for you, and paranormal help through patience, because it's a sign Capricorn. So for you, getting all this paranormal help or having a transformation requires a lot of effort and patience. So Saturn going retrograde here shows again another chance, or you having to go back and think about your secrets, or how you have dealt with your in-laws, or if there are some karmas that are left regarding your secrets or something like that, or if you have something hidden, if there is a hidden affair or something, it's a chance to go back and think about that. It's also, 8th house is also about research or, you know, deep hidden knowledge. So again, it's a chance for you to go back and take advice from people who are either in these fields of research or esoteric sciences, something like that, or yourself. If you're trying to learn, it's another opportunity for you to learn these things again. 8th house is also about the pending karmas that we have towards our ancestors. So in this time, if you get an opportunity, or maybe you get some kind of intuition to do something for your ancestors, for the pitras, then you should go ahead and do those things. It's a second chance for you to do that. And through that, if you have been trying to get solutions to some problem, you can get those solutions through patience and through doing these pending karmas, because your 5th house is going to be aspected by Saturn, and Mars is going to aspect your 5th house. 5th house is about remedies, about solutions, about getting ways to get, you know, some to reap your past life punyas. So if you go through this retrograde, and then don't get frustrated, because Mars aspecting it is going to make you a little frustrated also. You are a bit impatient to reap the fruits of your karmas, but with Saturn aspecting it, you need patience. You need to do the work that is required to be done of you first, then you will get the results. So Gemini, you know, right now focus on completing your tasks, sorting any secrets you have in life, transforming yourself, and being patient. Results are definitely going to come if you take advice of your advisors, because remember the themes of Shravana, okay? So if you get any kind of intuitive advice even, or if you get advice to do some things, you have to remain patient, and this is surely going to bring positive transformation for you. So Cancer to Pisces, your signs are going to come tomorrow and the day after. So be patient and stay tuned.